All right, you guys, welcome back to How to Bellydance Online. Today we're doing a fun video. We're working on snake arms. So let's get started. To do this move, we're going to be using the shoulder muscles, the traps, and the forearm muscle. What's that muscle called? This muscle. To do the snake arm move, it's going to be broken down into 4 different parts, okay? So the first part, if you don't know what a shoulder push is, you might want to check out this video and it'll help you before you start breaking down this move. Okay, so our hands are going to be in this rested low V position. The first point is going to be a shoulder push up. So we're going to do that with just one arm. That's going to be reaching as high to the ear as possible without leaning into it or bringing it into your ear, but just as up as possible, okay? The next move is going to be an elbow. We're going to force this elbow out. Now that's going to get done by using your tricep muscle to engage. At this point, your shoulder is going to be back down at neutral, and so our elbow is going to extend up higher than that point. That's going to give that flowy part of the beginning part of the snake arm. The next move is going to be wrist. We're getting this move with the wrist by using that forearm muscle I was talking about. That's going to be the wrist move, okay? The last thing we're going to do for the snake arm is going to be the release. And that's just going to be from this point, finishing it through to your fingers. That's right, finishing it through with your fingers. So let's do that to the other side. We're going to start with that first point, shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. Awesome. Okay, let's try doing that a couple times before we bring in the music. We're going to just isolate that move until we mix it up and create that snake arm effect. So starting with the right arm isolated, we're going to hit that shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. Again, shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. One more time, shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. Let's try to smooth that out, okay? Shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. Smooth it out again, shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. Okay, let's do the same thing to the other side. Broken down, shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. Again, shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. Let's smooth it out. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. Smoothing it out. Wrist and release. Okay, so we just did the first part of the snake arm. That's that upward movement, okay? And release. To get that bottom move, we're going to be doing kind of the same thing except for the opposite. So you're going to think a downward elbow, wrist, release. Okay? That's going to be the reverse effect of the snake arm. So when this arm is going up, this arm is going to go down. And then the same thing when this elbow goes up, this elbow is going to go down. Then the same thing's going to happen when this wrist goes up, this wrist is going to go down. And you guessed it, when you release it, you're going to be releasing the same thing. Okay, so when you're releasing it, the hands outward from that wrist. So if our wrist's down here, our hands are just going to follow the line. Okay, so just like they did up here where they rolled out to finish the line, they're going to do the same thing and they're going to roll out that way to finish the line. Cool? Glad that's all cleared up. Okay, so let's try to mesh that all together. So we're going to go shoulder, elbow, wrist, release. Now to get the opposite side, if I'm finishing through with this bottom part on this left side, I'm going to do exactly what I learned with the snake arm on the top part. So I'm going to be going shoulder lift on this side, shoulder drop on this side, elbow wrist on this side, elbow wrist on this side. Okay, so that's going to be creating that alternate effect. Whatever you're doing on this side, you're doing on this side, or you're doing the opposite on this side. Okay, So let's try to speed that move up just a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Now on this particular move, I'm making it a little bit more condensed so that you can really see the movement. You can make these moves as big as you want and we'll drill that. But right now, we're just gonna be doing them pretty much from your ear to your chest level. These are going to be very small snake arms. Okay, so starting with the right side, right up means left down. So right shoulder, elbow, wrist, 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 shoulder, elbow, wrist. Awesome. Let's do this to some music. Okay, so we're starting in this rested T position. Starting with the right, upward, 6, 7, 8. Elbow, wrist, shoulder, 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 elbow, wrist. Notice how we're doing this small move right now. Eye to chest. Eye to chest. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, we're gonna go from the top of our head to our hips. Again, we're not gonna want to lead with our wrists. That makes this move not a snake arm, okay? Remembering your shoulder, elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Remember, the key to this move is flow. Let's speed it up, going back to a small move. Up, down, shoulder, elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Say that 10 times. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Let's speed this up. Ready? Just because it's fast doesn't mean you don't hit those points. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Ready? Let's slow it down. 5, 6, 7, 8. And speed it up. And slow. And let's do it big. And slow. And slow. Awesome! Oh my goodness, you guys are snake arm queens and kings. You guys, this is such a fun move to play with. Make sure to check out those breakdown videos if you're having trouble with the move. It'll definitely help you out. Watch those a few times, watch this one a few times, and you should have the snake arm thing down in like no time. If you liked what you saw, make sure to like and subscribe. And in the meantime, check us out on Facebook. And we'll see you on some videos. Woo woo!